Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with another video, and I hope you've been enjoying the content. I hope you've been enjoying Ismula TV here on Twitch. It's been so much fun, hanging out with you guys. Almost it feels like almost every day, but I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So if you're down, I'm down. But yeah, bro, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, with another video as we get into week 16. And I have to start off by talking about the Christmas Day matchup. But before I talk about football, let's just thank the Lord, for our day and this opportunity we have to spend with you guys. It's an unbelievable privilege that I don't take for granted. So, thank you, Jesus, for this opportunity to be able to hang out and share and talk sports with you guys. So, without further ado, let's get into the action, man. We see these 20 plus leagues here for you guys, and this is, like I said, the first inaugural season of the maxed out 24 leagues on ESPN fantasy football app. Hope you guys been keeping track. Hope you guys been keeping count. Who's in, who's out, who's in the playoffs, who's not. Even if you make it to the consolation ladder, I'm fine. I just want to see at the end of the season how many first place teams, how many second place teams, how many third place teams. So you guys can take a look and see, okay, what players perform which weeks, which players were consistent all season, who was a solid backup to hopefully help you guys going into next year in your fantasy football leagues and make great decisions, great picks, trust your drafts, and even be creative in the waiver wire if you're checking, paying attention week to week. But yes, Christmas night. I mean, it almost feels. Sometimes it feels like it's a sin to have all these games going on, man. It's like four NBA basketball games, three football games, and I was just talking to my brother on the phone earlier today. And it's kind of like, hey, man, we kind of justified it as like, hey, if for those folks who are traveling during the holiday season, you're pretty much gonna have a game available for you to watch all all meals of the day. Early in the morning for breakfast, afternoon for lunch, evening for dinner. And for those who may be night owls or coming in to fly in to see family late, you're also going to have a game to watch there for the NBA, and kind of the same thing around football as well. But honestly, the only game I really care about on Christmas is the Monday night football game with the three MVP candidates in Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy. That is going to be an epic showdown. I believe both teams are 11-3, sitting at the number one seed for their divisions, and number one in the NFC and number one in the AFC. Pretty much throw down on Christmas Day. I mean, that's an awesome gift and present. So, what a privilege we have here to be able to enjoy those, to be able to, watch those two teams play and see those men battle it out on Monday night. But getting right into it, I did make a lot of these picks prior to, so just gonna run through this video. Probably not gonna be as long as the past videos. There may be a couple teams or leagues I get stuck on because I'm still debating on who I should start and who I should bench. But game of football, 11-1 so far on the season. Absolutely outstanding. This is my highest performing team in all of my leagues. Has the best record, 11 wins, only one loss. Very, very impressive. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look here, sitting at that number one seed there, and see exactly who I'm going up against. Looks like I got Team Larry. So it looks like they kept us in this week. So it looks like it might probably be like 2 weeks. So it's probably like, I don't know if it's gonna be tiebreaker or best two out of three, but week 15 to 16, and then it looks like the championship's gonna be 17 to 18. So definitely want to keep that lead up on Team Larry and not take him or that opportunity for granted. So coming back to my team here, I got Brock Purdy. Okay, going up against Baltimore Ravens. Their defense is tough, but I believe, all right, that he's gonna be a better option. Or he's gonna outperform Tua Tagovailoa against Dallas. So Brock Purdy projected to 18. Hopefully he holds true to that. Opponents ranked about fourth as far as that Baltimore defense, are pretty, top five defense along with the top five offense as well. So we'll see. But I think he's going to have a bigger game against Baltimore than Tua will have against Dallas. Reason why I'm saying that, I believe Baltimore is a better defense than the Dallas Cowboys. However, I believe Brock Purdy has more weapons at his disposal with George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, and Brandon Ayuk. And you can't forget about the fullback number 44, Mike Krzyzewski as well. He could get the ball too and be pretty explosive. If you think about the Dolphins, yes, you have the solid 1-2 punch and Raheem Mostert, Devon A. Chain. You got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle as well. But that's four as compared to Brock Purdy's five. Tua is really able to find those guys week over week all the time. And Tyreek Hill is pretty banged up. He was out last week. Will he be playing against Dallas this week? Who knows? So I just think, I like Brock Purdy, under pressure than I do Tua. So I'm gonna keep Brock. He's been consistent for me week over week, no matter who the opponent is. So I'm gonna keep him there. Chris McCaffrey, he's not being touched. Joe Mixon against Pittsburgh, I expect him to have a solid game, projected at 15. Debo Samuel, as I said before in previous videos, if they're playing against a physical team like you saw them play up against Philadelphia Eagles on the road, that favors Debo. So in some of my Devo in some of my deeper leagues, I'll be putting in Brandon Ayuk as you'll see as this video moves forward. But physical games against tough defenses like Philly, like we're going to see against Baltimore, that's going to favor Debo Samuel. He's not even a wide receiver. I call him a wide back. Okay, he could play that wide receiver position. He could also play that slot, which gets banged up, and he can also play the running back position. So we call that a wide back. Okay, he's a dual threat receiver. He could play running back and he could play receiver. So that physicality that he brings, that strength, that toughness, is going to help him score the points that we need to win and put up points against Baltimore, which I believe Brock Purdy, Chris McCaffrey, and Debo Samuel will do, and then be able to probably get some touches to Ayuk, get Kittle out on the flat to keep the defense on their heels. Don't ask me who I think is going to win that game. I can't tell you the outcome of that game, but definitely tune in. And I hope the outcome of this game in round two of round one of the playoffs, or however you want to put it, you know, I hope that we get the win. Jordan Addison, I'm going to put him in. Chris Olave, he doesn't have a Q here, no red flags. Um, but, I think with Jordan Jefferson, Jordan Jefferson, awesome, because I know these players' names. I think with Justin Jefferson getting back into the lineup, it's really going to allow for defenses to double team Justin to take him out the game. And as you saw last week, Jordan Addison coming off that big week, I think he'll have another solid week against Detroit as that second option. For the Minnesota Vikings offense, Sam Laporta, he'll stay at the tight end position. Don't really have any backups here for him. Ricard White, he'll stay projected to do 17. Is that, as you can see, this entire team right now, my entire offense projected to do over 10 points per game. Will they hold to that? I hope, right? That's the goal. I hope they do play up. I could put Chris Olave in, but he was out last week, so anytime that happens, I'm gonna go with the next guy up until he shows you that he's ready to come back and play. George Pickens, absolutely not. Jerome Ford, no. Tua, no. Calvin, no. And Zach, no. And we're moving on. The Avengers, the disappointing loss last week, got to take that on the chin and move on from it. Well, looks like we might have a second chance the way this playoff bracket is set up. So we're not too far behind to get back in this game. I'm going to go ahead and bench Bijan Robinson this week against Indianapolis Colts defense, who has been pretty solid. Bijan is definitely trending down, unfortunately. I'm not liking what I've been seeing. You know, point four, I just can't have that right now. Not in the postseason. Show me you know how to play, and that's against the Carolina Panthers. That's a joke. If you can't put up numbers like that I need, then I just can't have you as my starting roster. I understand he's a rookie, and listen, this happens a lot with rookies that go into a struggling franchise. We saw with Saquon Barkley, the coordinators put the entire offense on the rookie's back as he's getting acclimated to the game, as he's body is developing to the hits and the blows, and he gets injured, he gets hurt, right? He underperforms. Same thing happened with the Giants running back Saquon Barkley. So the same thing kind of happened with Chris McCaffrey when he's with the Panthers. He's in a much better position now, Chris McCaffrey, that is, on the 49ers. Saquon Barkley probably could be in a way better position than New York. Bijan Robinson, I'm sure he could prosper in a lot of other places with a franchise that doesn't even have a solid quarterback. So, and that's just what it is. Um, but I'm just not going to trust him to, get the points we need to win. I could be wrong. If you got him, like I said, if you got a deeper league, in my leagues, I wouldn't say aren't deep. My roster is pretty deep. For a lot of my teams, I drafted really well. When guys got injured, I didn't do any trades on any of my teams. None of these players are traded. Every single person I picked up was either drafted or picked up on waivers. So that's how I do business. I'm not worried about, yo, bro, hit me up, yo, I trade you this person for that person. I don't got time for that. I'm gonna hit the waivers. If I can't find anybody I need on there, then it's not my year, and I'll take that to the bank. Um, but yeah, I think Bijan sits out this season, this game actually. If he performs back up and he shows me he can, put up the 19-20, maybe I'll work him back into that lineup. But I'm just not going to do it this week. I think Dave Montgomery will have a solid game against Minnesota defense, even though he projected to do 13.2, which is less than Bijan. Debo Samuel, 17.5. He stays. Addison, I could take the chance on Olave in this one, but since I lost, I'm gonna see if Addison can, put together back-to-back weeks. Dawson Kincaid, he's only projected to a 9 on my bench, and he's questionable. Jake Ferguson is healthy. He's got a big game coming up against Miami. Dak Prescott's going to need him. He stays. Travis Etienne, he did have a slow week last week, unfortunately. Under 10 points, not what I want to see at all, especially in the postseason. But playing against Tampa, I think they'll find a way for him to get the ball. Their receiving core is not really in rhythm right now with Trevor Lawrence. Everybody came off of a slow game. Evan Ingram, Kyle Ridley. So I think just the whole offense is going to hit the reset button, and hopefully we'll see some fireworks on Sunday against Tampa Bay, and he'll actually play up to his projection. I just don't. I mean, he's a flex guy, so if I click move, I have a lot of options here with Bijan, Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, Zay Flowers. But these two players probably won't be getting them because they're questionable. But I think I like my chances with Travis Etienne. He stays. Eagles defense, they get the nod. Pick them up on waivers as well. They're playing against a Giants offense, which is abysmal right now. And then I'll be keeping in Brandon Aubrey as well. Playing against Miami, definitely expect that to be a high kickers game because both offenses are going to struggle to score or at least get into field goal range to kick a lot of field goals. So that's that. Hopefully we get this win, man. And I'm going to learn a lot about my team, okay? Chris Olave is out. Peter Robinson, slow week. How do you respond? How do you come back? You just got benched, right? Are you going to fight to get back in this lineup? Or are you going to, you're going to be cozy on that nice bench and not be, provider or producer for my team in this postseason? We'll see. But the choice is on them. Ball's in their court. It's time for them to respond. Moving on. Good call, ref. All right, this was a tough loss. I mean, if you saw the numbers, look at this. This was last week's results, man. Austin Eckler under 10, Evan Ingram under 10, Zay Flowers under 5, Cowboys defense -1, Jared Goff put up 31, right? So I didn't have the Cowboys defense in. I did have these three players in, and they did not even combine for 20 points. Okay, that's a joke. All right. And that cost me big time. You see those final numbers. So trust my gut here. Going with James Cook, who's playing hot right now. Kyron Williams. The Rams are still hungry. Jake Browning, he gets the nod. I'm going to bench Jared Goff, even though he's come off that big week. This is a big risk, though, guys. Jared Goff had a solid week last week with 31 points, and now he's playing Minnesota. So, I think he's probably the safer bet, guys, to start, but I'm going to roll the dice here. What do I have to lose? Yes, I'm the number one seed. Cool, I get that. But I also like the way Jake Browning is playing, too. He's pretty fired up right now with the Bengals. I think he's got a lot to prove against a Pittsburgh team who's trending down while the Bengals are trending up. So I think it's a great week for him to show me, hey, listen, not only can I lead this team, I can outperform Jared Goff. I can get you back in this playoff matchup and hopefully get you to that final championship game. That's my hope. I think he could get it done, but it's still yet to be seen. And he's still got to go play the game. So we'll see what happens there. Garrett Wilson, definitely a huge question mark for me. He had that slow game, 5.9 points. That's a risk. But like I said, Zay Flowers is questionable. Nico Collins is questionable. You know, is CJ Stroud coming back? He had that concussion injury, so this one is probably not going to be a finalized roster. Probably going to be more of a game time decision since I'm being forced to, check these games and check my rosters live before the kickoff happens. So don't take all these picks to the bank except for like unless the team plays Thursday. They're going to be playing Saturday, so I'm going to have to check these things pretty quickly and pretty often. But for the sake of this video, if I had to play football right now, this is who I'm going with. So I want you guys to go based off of that. Packers defense, they're going up against Carolina, who's we already know their record's like 2-12. So they'll get the nod there. I'll be benching the Cowboys. They're going to have a tough matchup against Miami. Yes, I said Tua Tagovailoa doesn't have as many weapons as San Francisco, but he does have enough weapons to beat the Cowboys. So the Cowboys definitely going to let up some points here because they got obliterated by the Bills. I expect Miami probably not to beat them that bad, but to still have success. And while it won't be negative, but it definitely won't be double digits, in my opinion, for the Cowboys defense. I could be wrong. If you feel like, hey, Miami is not going to know what hits them, you can go ahead and do that. But projected 3.8 is not a defense I'm going to start for this week. Nico Collins, like I said before, is CJ Stroud coming back? We don't know. Sam Howell, I wouldn't trust him against the Jets defense that's been playing lights out, even though the offense has been struggling. So these why these guys are on the bench. Austin Eckler, remember I told you guys last week was going to be an experiment. If Austin Eckler and the Chargers can show me they still want to play football, 7.8 shows me they do not. Unfortunately, he gets a highway ticket, first class ticket to my bench because of it, and along with Evan Ingram when Trey McBride coming off of back-to-back weeks of 20 plus, he gets a nod, he stays in. Tony Pollard better have a big game for me, or else I'm gonna have to find myself a new running back. So hopefully he can play up to 15.2, or else we're gonna have some real problems because I cannot have another 7.7 game on my team. If you think I'm playing around, let me go ahead and check waivers right now. I got Jerome Ford and Devin Singletary available. To be honest with you, bro, I mean, Singletary's coming off a big week of 21 points, bro. I ain't lying to you, bro. To be honest with you, bro, I don't even like how they've been playing for real, for real. Sam Howell, drop him. To be honest with you, bro, I'm I'm a I'm gonna see, man, because I don't even know if Singletary is a starter right now, but I'll take those numbers from the flex. What I won't take is 7 points for my franchise running back. So we'll see. I have to sleep on that. I have to sleep on that because we have some guys that are available right now. Jerome Ford, solid, 10.6 against Houston. The only thing he's questionable. He had under 10 points last game. Ty Chandler, he's actually a starting running back for Minnesota. I'm shocked he's projected to do 9.5. He actually had a big week, 24.7. That's interesting. They're probably worried about that Detroit defensive line. Okay. All right. So I have to keep an eye on that because, yeah, Tony Pollard and Austin Eckler, man, probably have been the two biggest disappointments second half of the season as far as production goes, and it's where it matters most. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it's my roster as of now. I'll keep it Tony Pollard for now. But yeah, that's what I got. Okay. Moving on to you sure about this, and I always gotta check because I want to be sure about every decision I make. I mean, I think I'm pretty sure about this. uh, Lamar Jackson, man, keep doing your thing, my boy. Raheem Mostert, he's been questionable all season, but he's been playing through injury, man. Look at this, like 21, 12, 23. I can't argue with the results. Like if you got a question mark next to your game, next to your name, and you're pretty banged up, or um, just kind of got to miss a day of practice. Hey, as long as I can feel confident with knowing the playbook, when you're practicing heavy and doing the work during the week and performing the way you're performing during game day, I got no problem with it, man. So you got do what you got to do to get the rest you need to be 100% come game day. So I think we'll see a combination of him and A Chain, but he's still been solid. So he's gets my RB1. James Cook gets my RB2. It doesn't really matter where you put him, but those are my top two running backs right now. They've been consistent week over week. Unfortunately, DeAndre Swift, although he's going up against the Giants, he probably will have a pretty big game. But I just don't like what the, what the offense coordinator is doing with this Eagles offense, and it's literally been at the detriment of DeAndre Swift. I mean, you talk about week two when we picked him up, 27-14. I mean, look, a buck 79, 130, right? And then after that, it's just been under 100 yards ever since, you know? And this guy, he's the type of running back that he gets stronger as the game goes on. The more touches he gets, the closer he is to breaking one. And it's almost like they go pass, pass, okay, Swift, get what you can. They'll go first down, okay, pick up what you can, pass, pass. It's like feed the man, bro. Up the middle, outside tackle, screen. Like I'll give him a whole series if I have to, but they're not doing that. And as much as I want to put them in against my Giants, I just they'll mess around and put Gainwell in, because they're upset about how much yards Swift is getting when they're not prioritizing him as a runner. They want to prioritize Jalen Hurts, who's banged up and not healthy, but still playing out there. So I don't got time for it. So Raheem Mostert, James Cook, Cooper Cup, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, and I don't see a question mark next to Justin Jefferson. So if there's any leagues where I have him on IR, I'm putting him as my flex receiver because I need for him to do exactly what he did last week, but even better, right? Projected to do 19 points against Detroit, potentially facing a double team. So if he could put up 20, he'll go back into my wide receiver one or two spot, especially if he outperforms Cooper Cup or CeeDee Lamb. But as of right now, he'll stay at my flex, and he's got some proving to do for me in order for me to be completely confident in him. I went ahead and picked up the Broncos defense because New England Patriots offense has just been outright struggling. That defense, though, if you have Russell Wilson as your starting quarterback, if there's a better option, I'll put somebody else in. If you're in a deeper league and you need Russ, then you have no choice. But he's going to struggle against that New England defense. That defense right now, even though the offense is struggling, they're playing with a lot of pride. So I expect that defense to perform up. But I do expect the offense to probably struggle, and then the Broncos defense will probably have a pretty solid game against them. But we'll see. Yeah, Matthew Stafford's on my bench. Jaden Reed had a solid week, 17.2 for me. Now he's going up against Carolina, so it's really tough for me to put him on my bench. But because he's questionable, Justin Jefferson is not, and I have CeeDee Lamb and Cooper Cup. I got to go with those guys, man. That's just too much firepower to bench any of them. But Jaden Reed, I want you to know something, man. One, you're a special player. Two, you've done your job. And three, best believe if anything goes wrong and we continue to move on and win games, you will be that guy. And he's the type of player that I'll probably sit him down on my offense and be like, listen, I have Cooper Cup, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson as my top three options. But if he's actually on my team and this is like real life, he will be featured in my offense. Jet sweeps, quick screens, special teams. I'm going to make sure we use him in the most dynamic way possible so we get the ball in his hands. And take the load off of these three guys. But unfortunately, fantasy football, you can't put all your players in, so I got to go my top three guys. But Jaden Reed, you did your utmost. You did you did more than enough. You did everything I asked you and then some, and you played through injury. He had that 1 week, I think that was a dip. Yeah, against Kansas City, that was like under 10 points. But other than that, since we picked him up in week 10, nothing but solid. 19, 19, 15. One slow week that we put him in against the Giants, he performed 20.5. Tampa put up 17. Can't ask for anything more than that. He'll just get the bench this week, although he's going against Carolina. I'm really excited to see what he does. I think he's going to show out for real. I think he would definitely exceed 11. So if you guys have him available in your waivers in the deeper leagues, if you guys don't have the amount of depth that I have here at receiver, definitely put him in there. If you need to. So, but for this league, he'll just be sitting out. But this is my roster here, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I could check one more time on the defense though, just to see if anybody dropped anybody. Just because I'm not sold on the they got the Eagles defense. Yeah, I'll probably pick them instead. 6.8. I mean, I think the Colts defense is probably going to have a good game against the Atlanta Falcons too. So I'll pick them up, yeah. Just because who knows? Zappy might shock you and ball out against the Broncos. But I don't think anybody on the Giants team will be able to do anything with the Eagles. So I'll put them last minute switch and moving on. If you know, you know. For those of you guys who don't know, that's what AYKYK stands for. So look at this. Jared Goff does get an opportunity to show out. Trevor Lawrence is banged up, and at the end of the day, Trevor Lawrence, he still's got a lot to prove, right? He's questionable with the ankle, 14.66. Jared Goff coming off a big week. He's playing against a defense that's not that good. Trevor Lawrence, I think, he's playing against Tampa. They're pretty inspired football team right now, coming off that pretty big win. Christian McCaffrey, Cook, Debo, Addison, Ferguson, Raheem Mostert. Chiefs defense against the Vegas Raiders, who've been struggling. Yeah, Hopkins, unfortunately, underperformed. Less than 5 points. Josh Jacobs, six got a bye week or was coming off a bye week last week, excuse me. And Travis Etienne also underperformed. And I just got so many guys on my bench that just did not put in work. And then I have Laporta on the bench right now at 13. I probably should put him in, to be honest. Yeah, because it's always a good idea to put Jared Goff and Laporta in at the same time with that 1-2 punch combination. I think, I have Jake Ferguson in a lot of my leagues. It's going to be a big game for Dak Prescott to bounce back from that Bills blowout. So I think deeper leagues, if you have Jake Ferguson, expect Dak Prescott to find him. But for the sake of continuity and just chemistry, I'm going to put Jared Goff and Laporta. It just looks better, makes you feel better, and I'll probably be able to sleep better at night as well, knowing I did that. Moving on to roast them. Brock Purdy again. Brees Hall, super disappointing game. 2.8. It is so tough to be mad at these guys because look at the production from week 5 through 14, and this is like the first bad game he's had since starting off the season banged up behind Dalvin Cook. So it's rough. We hope it's a one-off against the Miami Dolphins defense, and he could bounce back against Washington. And I'm gonna need him to because as you can see, I don't have much of a backup option anywhere else. Got Devon A. Chain questionable, Kenneth Walker questionable, Ford questionable. So I need him. Nothing else I can do in this league, but hope that he can bounce back. We lost last week, another close matchup here. So I don't really have much of a choice. David Njoku coming off a big week. I'm really liking what I see from Joe Flacco and the Njoku connection. So hopefully that continues. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I expect him to have a good big game against Minnesota. Justin Jefferson is back, so he gets a nod as my wide receiver one. As you can see, not much depth at WR, so definitely going to have to keep him there. Justin Tucker definitely does his thing. And like I said, I think the Colts is going to have a pretty solid game against Atlanta. Quarterback position is definitely a huge question mark. I think they might be able to get a couple of picks, some turnovers, and honestly, this Colts defense has really been playing pretty solid football as of late. We're talking 27 points against Carolina, 17 against Tennessee. That's a conference matchup, and then 15 against Pittsburgh. That's outstanding football. So I'm not touching them. I could take a quick peek and see what other defenses out there, but I really like what I'm seeing from Indianapolis. And yeah, nobody else on this waivers right here is gonna take their spot. But now, as far as tight end, yeah, I mean, I could put in two tight ends there, but I don't think I need to. Jaden Reed though against Carolina is very interesting though. I could get creative and just do something like this, since Reed doesn't have an opportunity in my other leagues. I could get creative and do a little something like this. you know, A Chain, Walker, Reed, Jefferson, St. Brown, and Joku. Puts Brees Hall on my bench for the first time all year. But, you know, does he really play up to that 15.5 projection against Washington Commanders? I don't know. Um, I think he will, if I have to be completely honest. I think he will, but it remains to be seen. So I'll stick with my with I was. That's really tough. I told you I'm probably gonna get stuck on one. This is probably one of those ones. We got A Chain that's questionable. Why? A-Chain Toe was listed as a non-participant on Wednesday's practice report, which was today. Limited fashion on Friday. Did not play. He put up 9.2 last week. Romeo put up no. Reed put up 17. Yeah, I'm gonna think he mostly gets a nod. I'm gonna put Jaden Reed in. Um, Kenneth Walker coming up a big week. Brees Hall. Let's take a look. Brees Hall. Healthy. Maybe it's a one-off. Let's hope. Let's hope. I'm gonna stick with this roster right here. I'm gonna put A-Chain on the bench. I'm gonna put in Reed have a big game against Carolina. Final answer. Moving on. You ain't no cowboy. All right, Isaiah Pacheco. Coming off of not a bye week, folks, just prior suspension. Honestly, Devon A. Chain is a deeper league here, so he'll get the nod on this one. Um, Tyreek Hill should be back. Definitely need to monitor that one as well. Puka Nakua finally got the question mark off of his name. On my bench, we have the oh so inconsistent Calvin Ridley, the Mr. Dependable Cortland Sutton, questionable banged up Dalton Kincaid. Yeah, so only person I could think about putting in is Cortland Sutton. Where would he fit in? Maybe at the flex, maybe at the wide receiver 2 spot. Like I said before, physical games for the 49ers do favor those bigger guys, I have to be honest. It favors George Kittle, favors Debo, it favors Chris McCaffrey, which turns Brandon Ayuk into the number 4 option, 3 or 4 option, or third or fourth option. But Cortland Sutton is, you know, Russell Wilson's number 1 target. Like I said before, if you are in deeper leagues, put in Cortland Sutton. However, like I mentioned earlier, that New England defense is no joke, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't expect Russell Wilson to really be able to hit Cortland Sutton as much as he liked to for that Sunday night showdown. Will he have success? I believe so. Will he outperform Brandon Ayuk? Maybe, but it's going to be close. I'm hoping my points really come from this 4 right here and then some Jake Ferguson. Brandon Ayuk, Cortland Sutton probably both put up like 10. Calvin really another under 10 performance. Kincaid under 10. Ford probably between 8 and 11. Love, he's got Carolina this week, so that's an opportunity. But can Patrick Mahomes show me that he can actually hit 20 points against Vegas Raiders? If not, Jordan Love probably gets the nod the rest of the season. Ezekiel Elliott under 10. Now you have Ramondre Stevenson. He's coming back. And we got Josh Jacobs, who was injured. Now he's healthy, so I could put him in, honestly, at the flex. I don't know. I didn't think of that. Probably because his production as of late has been atrocious. 7 points, 22-6. Just been up and down all season. And he's going to be going up against that defensive line of Kansas City. And he's still questionable. Me and running back start coming off an injury. Don't get along. But I can go ahead and activate him and drop Ezekiel Elliott. That's no problem. Just like if we have a better look at everything. Josh Jacobs. What's the injury? Why is he questionable? Quadriceps. Yeah, you need that. Officially listed as questionable for the contest after being estimated as a non-participant in each of the Raiders' walkthroughs Monday through Thursday. Monday through Wednesday. He couldn't even get to a walkthrough. So yeah, that's a no-go. And that'll be my final answer right now. I like the weapons here, and we're moving on. Column 2. This field is my palace. Nice huge win there. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback one. All right. Here we go. DeAndre Swift, though, against the Giants. It's a lot of meat and potatoes on the bench. Addison with the big game, 29. Singletary with the big week, 21. Cook, Mostert, Hill, Evans, Trey McBride with the big week of 20. I'm going with the double tight end package. Double tight. Interesting. I'm going with the double tight end package. Okay. Yeah, they are both healthy. I think DeAndre Swift could have a big game when I need it most, but at the same time, offense got to call plays for him. I might regret it. This one might be one that I come back to and say DeAndre Swift last minute get in there. But I am interested to see how this plays out. Like, well, who else is putting in two tight ends, right? For the tight end one and the flex. So this is gonna be interesting. We have a solid lead here against down with the crew. I can take a look at the matchup just to be safe. He's got Kenneth Walker, Don Kincaid. He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Brees Hall, Devontae Smith, Tyler Lockett. So he's got a decent squad. I mean, we're projected to do 130. He's projected to do about 116. Um, so I think we have a little bit of grace here and some leeway to take the chance, man. Roll the dice. If DeAndre Swift can put up with some points against the Giants, maybe that'll carry into some momentum next week against Arizona, who's also a bottom feeder team, and maybe that'll knock some sense in the offense coordinator to get him the ball more. But I'll keep that the way it is. Also Devin Singletary, 13.3 has an opportunity, but I'm gonna go with double tight ends. Keep my two running backs on the bench for this team and see how much fun we can have. King of the jungle, Latino. Jordan Love gets the quarterback one nod. Like I said, over Russell Wilson here. New England defense is is going to perform well against Russell. He's going to struggle. I think um, what's his name, Bill Belichick. He has him dialed up. He knows what to run and how to play him, and it's going to show. I thought they played earlier in the year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought they did. But maybe it was somebody else. But yeah, I got Jordan Love against Carolina. I believe that he'll be able to pick that team apart. Christian McCaffrey stays in. James Conner coming off a pretty solid week. They're going against the Bears, so I expect them to have a good day there. Debo, Addison gets the nod. Really showed you why. Zay Flowers showed you why, and I don't really have any other option there. Evan Ingram is the tight end who gets the nod because the Chargers are going to be against the Buffalo Bills defense. Chargers don't show me they want to win. I don't have any other tight end openings. I can see who else is out there. Ooh, Isaiah Likely. Who is my tight end right now? Evan Ingram. Isaiah Likely did have a good game, but now he's going against San Francisco. I think they will be able to find him. I think 11.5. I think Lamar Jackson will be able to find him. I could just drop Justin Herbert. No, probably drop Ezekiel Elliott. Let's see. 12.9 or 11.5. I mean, Evan Ingram's just been up and down too, man. This is like 23 points, 32, then 6.8. Like, bro. Hmm. Yeah, he's shutting up. I'm gonna go with Isaiah Likely, bro. This should be interesting. Let's have some fun, you know? Bills defense against the Chargers, absolutely. Jake Moody, absolutely. It's gonna be a high kicking game. And we're moving on. This is my final score right here, 125.9. I'll take that. And here we go. Star-studded. Yeah, that's pretty star-studded. Matthew Stafford, yeah. Oh, Keenan Allen is back. Okay. Oh yeah, but now with this roster. All right, so Keenan Allen is back, but he doesn't have his quarterback back. So Matthew Stafford at 15. Chris McCaffrey, yes. James Cook, yes, especially off a big week. Amon St. Brown, yes. Debo, yes. Joku, yes, against the Houston Texans. Come on. Let's go, Joe Flacco. Find him. Rasheed Rice, the only receiver that Patrick Mahomes has. I don't care what you say. Against the Raiders, yes. Eagles defense and Nick Folk. Just making sure he's been kicking well. Okay. Let me see if there's any. I feel like I've seen him in a couple leagues. Just want to see if there's any other kicker that's available that's maybe been putting up, some double digit numbers. Jason Sanders definitely has. I'm gonna roll the dice on Jason. Well, matter of fact, I'll keep him. I'll keep it. I'll keep it as is. That's fine. But yeah, this roster's straight, man. DeAndre Hopkins, look at that. 4 points, get him out of there. Jordan Addison, 29 points. Like I said, very, very good. But I gotta give Rasheed Rice an opportunity. Brian Robinson, yeah. This stays. There's not much to see here. That roster looks good. Marvelous. Let's see here. Marvelous. We got Brock Purdy, Chris McCaffrey, James. Yo, okay, Keenan Allen. So this is where the interesting pick goes. Keenan Allen is back, but he's with the backup quarterback, and he's still questionable. So it's his first game back. Let's see why he was questionable. His heel, Allen heel, isn't practicing Wednesday. Athletic reports Allen was spotted working on the side with the trainer Tuesday, but hasn't officially participated in practice in any capacity since week 14. Yeah, I'm going to go with the healthy receiver in Jordan Addison. I just don't like the way that sounds. On the sideline practicing. Sam Laporta, Isaiah Pacheco. He was just suspended, right? But he did have that shoulder bruise. Remember that? Coach Andy Reid said Monday he expects Pacheco's shoulder, yeah, to play the following Monday against the Raiders, bearing a setback. Reid reveals that Pacheco was medically cleared to play in Sunday's 27-17 win, but they took a cautious approach. Nice, giving him another week to recover. So I could put in ETN. I mean, if you got a shoulder injury, I'm just gonna put an ETN here. This is my roster looks clean. Yeah. So if he's banged up, these guys are all banged up. I'm gonna put in guys who are healthy. James Cook, is he banged up after torching that Dallas Cowboys defense with 179 rushing yards? I mean, I'd probably be banged up too. Let's see. Cook isn't practicing Wednesday due to an illness. Okay, so probably just sick. Full participant walkthrough and running backs absence from Wednesday. We're tracking Saturday's game against the Chargers. Yeah, I mean, he should be back. He should be fine. What tracking doesn't mean nothing. Alrighty. This is my roster. I'm sticking with it. Eagles defense: Tyler Bass, Rasheed Rice, Sam Laporta, Jordan Addison, Cook, McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy. Moving on. Danger zone. Alrighty. Brock Purdy coming off a big win. Let's go. Brock Purdy or Isaiah Pacheco. Okay, this one, yeah. Okay, guys, this is the league that is not that deep. Okay. And when I say deep, I mean I don't have as much depth on my roster like you see in other leagues. So it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams pretty much in a row. Great rosters. Number 12, Danger Zone. We got a lot of injuries that happened here. So wasn't able to really pick up that many guys. And you're like, what are you talking about? You got Pacheco, you got A-Chain, you got Henry. But have you seen Henry's numbers over the course of the season? 3.0, 5, 5, 9, 2. So it's just been so rocky. with Derrick Henry. I don't know what's going on over there, but he'll put together like 3 big weeks and then just like fall off the cliff, you know. So I don't know what's going on. Not like I trust Brian Robinson Jr. against the Jets, you know, any more than Derrick Henry at this point. But it's just like, bro, you're Derrick Henry, dude. Come on, like run somebody over. Like, are you kidding me? So I don't know what's going on. And I got a lot of Qs right here. I got a lot of Investo QQQs right here. Look at all this question marks. But those guys have just been performing better. I mean, Adam Thielen had a slow week, unfortunately. You know, he was been my veteran guy throughout that beginning of the season. Now it's like up and down for him. You know, I know it's tough to get him the football. So, you know, at this point, it's one of those things where, you know, these guys are just gonna have to play through injury. You know, that's what I'm gonna need them to do, and hopefully they can do that because if not, you know, we're gonna be in the danger zone for sure. No pun intended. Um, so we'll see what happens. I don't really have, you know, much depth in the waivers either. It's not like there's the receivers or running backs I could pick up, but we'll check. Ty Chandler, I mean, he had a big week. Like I said, but only projected to do 9.5. Ramondre Stevenson, also questionable. And I got to claim him in this league. Go do all that extra work. Receivers, Garrett Wilson. Okay, but look, everybody these guys already claimed. So I don't know what the deal is there. I'm not gonna claim somebody that I can't have. So it looks like, you know, maybe I have to wait till Friday. Not gonna do all of that. So we'll see if I'm gonna have to come back and check for the Danger Zone League. But yeah, as of right now, if I have to play a football game right now, that's the team I'm going with, and hopefully they can find a way to win. Let's see. No fly zone. Moving on. Got the W. Let's get it. Brock Purdy, even with Bijan Robinson scoring less than a point, less than half a point, we still won that game. Insane. And I don't have much depth once again at the running back position to really bench him. So now I need him. You know, so now I need him to in this league again, no fly zone, a lot of injuries. So you know, I need him to perform. Hopefully, this was a one-off game, and we can come back against Indianapolis and have some success. You know, so I know what I said about you earlier, but like I said, it's the truth. You know, franchises put the office on a running back's shoulders all the time, and that's the result. So we'll see. Jacoby Myers against Kansas City, no thank you. Jake Ferguson, I got Trey McBride, Jalen Warren, decent game. You know, but he's healthy. You know, but he's also been, you know, rocky as of late. 11 points for 3 weeks in a row, under 10 points. So, but hey, guys, if you have, you know, if you don't have as much depth, and these are your starters, you gotta do what you gotta do. But for me, I have some options here. So it's all about picking the right person that's gonna go off. And I think Jordan Addison is gonna have a bigger game than Cortland Sutton. So I'm gonna make that change right now while I still can. And I'm gonna leave that as my final answer. So on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? All right, moving on. So we did it. This was for the kids right here. This is for my young boys, man. You know what I'm saying? We did it. We did it together. Teamwork with the win. Brock Purdy, Raheem Mostert, Chuba Hubbard, 12.3. Debo Samuel, 21.9. Mike Evans, Laporta, Addison, Chiefs defense. Wow. Jamar Chase. Never thought I'd see the day he'd be on my bench. But that's what happens when Joe Burrow goes down. 0 point total. I don't know what's going on if he's AC injured. Shoulder remains sidelined at practice on Wednesday. All right. So he's done. Garrett Wilson, you know, he doesn't have a quarterback that could throw him the football, so can't trust him. Tua, I don't think he's going to have a bigger game than Brock Purdy. Cowboys defense, don't think they're going to have a bigger game than Chiefs. Gus Edwards, no thanks. Jalen Warren. All right, so that's my roster here for this one. Chuba Hubbard, RB2. Look at that. Proud of him. It's impressive. Let me see. Any other running backs available? Any other guys that I'm sleeping on? Ooh, Singletary. Ooh, Singletary. I mean, Singletary 13.3. Would that really help me? Take out Jordan Addison? Nah, I'm not doing that. All right, moving on. I always have to check sometime, even if I don't make it. Column three. Whoa, you shocked? Big one, baby. Electric City. The electricity's scattering. 194 points. My goodness. All right. Brock Purdy, McCaffrey, Cook, DK, Jordan Addison, Laporta, Raheem Mostert. I mean, yeah, I think this one looks pretty solid. Someone Patrick Mahomes. I don't. He hasn't proven he could hit 20 points in how many weeks? When's the last time he hit 20 points? It was 4 weeks ago against the Las Vegas Raiders. Look at that. That's actually his matchup. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, interesting. Do I put in Patrick Mahomes over Brock Purdy in this league? I don't know. I don't think so. Not with just Rasheed Rice to throw it to. Um, James Conner though, he's fighting for a way back into the starting lineup. Right now, they ain't room for him. We got Mosher who's been consistent, Cook who's been consistent, McCaffrey's been consistent. So James Conner got to drop the 20 piece, which he came close to 17 points and 22. So he definitely put in work. We'll see what the production is like, specifically for Raheem Mostert and James Cook. Christian McCaffrey is probably not going to be touched. I just, I hope he stays healthy, bro, because ever since I started playing fantasy football and I was able to draft Christian McCaffrey, he's been the man. And one of my favorite running. I mean, he's probably my favorite running back in this league, to be honest. I think I said this in my first fantasy football video. Best running back I've seen since like LaDainian Thomas. You know what I'm saying? So, and yes, we have guys like Adrian Peterson as well, but yeah, since those guys like Daniel Thomason, Adrian Peterson, Chris McCaffrey's been that dude, bro. So I don't think this is. I mean, I think people would say like they'll put Alvin Kamara up in that discussion, which yeah, Alvin Kamara is that guy as well. But I don't think there's another running back in this NFL league that means more to their franchise than Chris McCaffrey, bro. And he's so exciting to watch. So kudos to our offensive line, offense coordinator Kyle Shanahan, head coach, the way he's calling the plays. It's been phenomenal. Keep up the great work, and I can't wait to watch them play on Monday night. All right, but yeah, this roster is pretty set. Romeo Dobbs ain't taking any jobs. Cortland Sutton ain't gonna make a sudden switch. James Conner. Um, I mean, yeah, he playing against Chicago. I mean, if you guys have James Conner, that's a good matchup at Chicago. Come off a big week, 17.9. Like I said, just not enough juice. We got a lot of firepower in our starting lineup, but great backups to have on my team. If this is who you have for your starters, man, don't be afraid to put them in because I would. I just have some better options right now that I'm going to move forward with. All right, takeover. Let's see what we got here. Take over Matthew Stafford. Yes. Any other quarterback back here? Jordan Love? Nah. I mean, yes and no. I mean, we could take a quick peek. You know how we like to do sometimes. Take a quick detour and check out the NFL standings and see where the Rams are currently sitting in the NFC. They're second place. What did I say? They're hungry. I mean, a handful of games behind the San Francisco 49ers. I don't expect them to make any push there, you know, um, to the playoffs. Well, not to the playoffs, but just to that number one seed. But that is still a really good record. At 500 right now, they're hungry to be above 500. So I think Matthew Stafford has a lot to do with that, and it's going to come down to him. Christian McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, Keenan Allen once again. He wasn't healthy, but then who else do I have? DeAndre Hopkins played under 5 points last week. Like, bro, man, these guys can never just put together a complete season for me, man. Dude, Will Levis, finding a football, right? Who knows? So that's tough because Keenan Allen was like on the sideline with the trainer, right? Hasn't officially practiced. So I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that and see what he does. Jalen Warren, 12.9. Ooh, yeah, I kind of need Keenan Allen to be back to him old self. But that's gonna be a tough task against Buffalo with a backup quarterback. I don't know, bro. Let's see. Any receivers available that I like? Receivers? Dang. Tyler Boyd? No way. Brandon Cooks. No, he did 3 points last week. That's a joke. All right, well, I'm gonna have to roll the dice here. I want to put in. I might have to just give DeAndre Hopkins a second chance. To be honest with you, Keenan Allen's not healthy. I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that pick. I'm gonna stick with that for now, and hopefully DeAndre Hopkins can get the ball from Will Levis and bounce back. But I'll keep an eye out on Keenan Allen and see how he does. Get things done. My wife's league. I was given um, GM permission to make any changes that I see. I think that will be best for her success. I kind of like what I'm seeing here. Patrick Mahomes, 18.2. Any other quarterbacks out there that may do higher than him? Not that they're projected on paper, but if you watch football, these quarterbacks are trending in the right direction. But I won't take away Patrick Mahomes from her. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't drop him, but I'd probably drop like Sam Howell. So how about we do that right now? How about we drop Sam Howell? Who does Jake Browning have these upcoming weeks? Pittsburgh and Kansas City. Oh, that's interesting. Who does Jared Goff have? Minnesota then Dallas. Hmm. Who's got the upside? Who's got the upside? Who's got the upside? Jared Goff, Minnesota this week, and then Dallas, Jake Browning, Pittsburgh, and then Kansas City. I'd probably have to go with Jared Goff. He's a franchise quarterback. You know what I'm talking about? He's a guy. So that's a safer pick. That's the backup right now. And Patrick Mahomes, last time he had a big game was against Las Vegas. So I'll let him prove to my wife that he can be back to his old self. Kenneth Walker coming off a big week. Hopefully he's all right. James Cook, see, James Cook, golden opportunity in my wife's league. Show that you can perform. Stephon Diggs, he should have a solid game against the Chargers, no problem. Michael Pittman against Atlanta, but he's questionable. Whoa, what's going on? Pittman has been so solid for my lady all year. Look at this. Okay, remember a week he had under 10. Week 4 is only week. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. A complete season by a wide receiver. I don't have these. Some of these. I don't have this from the number one pick this year in Justin Jefferson. I don't have this from Cooper Cup. I didn't get this from 90% of my receiving core. But I got it from Michael Pittman Jr. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, guys. It's not always the glitz and the glamour picks that help you win your leagues. It's these guys that are consistent, and no matter if it's the quarterback, the starting quarterback, or the backup quarterback that gets into the game, he still gets the ball. Those are guys you gotta look for. Um, but yeah, let's see what he's questionable for. Oh, concussion. Oh, wow, that's serious. But this is limited practice on Wednesday. Pittman participating in any fashion is an encouraging sign, though he will need to return to full participation at some point to clear. Yeah, he's not going to clear. We'll put in Rasheed Rice, who's been trending up with 17, and then we're going to put Devontae Smith. And this is a pick. This is actually what my wife would do though, because anybody that's questionable, she usually puts them on the bench. I'm going to keep a Kenneth Walker for her though. Let's see. Walker didn't participate in Wednesday's walkthrough due to a shoulder injury. Oh my gosh. All right, so he might have to hit the bench too, and then we'll have to put in. Oh no, Javante Williams against New England's defense. They are not. They are so tough against the run. And he's trending down. Oh, Jalen Warren, not reliable. Oh, Jerome Ford, is he reliable? Yeah, up until last week against Chicago. No, and he's questionable. Any of the running backs? Dude, any other running backs? Oh, Ty Chandler coming off a big week. Nice playing against Detroit. I don't know. This is too much up in the air. Two bye week 7 and 24. Nice playing Detroit. Projected 9.5. He could exceed that for sure, but I don't know. That's more, huh? Knowing her, she would probably put in Javante Williams or Jalen Warren. Who has the better game? That's tough. What are the Steelers even sitting at right now? 7-7. They lost like three straight. 7-7. They're last in the division. Jeez Louise, this is difficult. But shoulder injuries are serious, so I know she probably want to put in one of these two guys. Cincinnati defense would probably be the better pick, to be honest. So we'll go with that. We'll monitor it. Laporta gets the nod. So yeah, this would be the running back crew. Jalen Warren, Patrick Mahomes, James Conner, Diggs, Rice, Laporta, Smith, Eagles defense, and Tyler Bass. Projected at 118. I don't like that number, but it's better than Kenneth Walker's questionable. So we'll move on. Terminator. We got the dub. Purdy, Cook, Connor again. Adams, big week. Rice, oh Ingram. Any other tight ends out there? Yeah, I mean, I don't like it when I see under 10 points at all. It's just me. My standard is high, so your standard might not be as high, guys. But if it is, likely against San Francisco or Ingram against Tampa Bay, I think we drop Logan Thomas because the Washington Commanders have been playing horrible. We got our ducks in a row. Jalen Warren, Chuba Hubbard projected to do 14 against Green Bay. I think we put him in. He's a starting running back for Carolina. Isaiah Likely projected to 11.5. Can they get Evan Ingram the ball or not? I mean, what is it going to be? Jacksonville? Are we going to get him the ball or not? This is like the last week. This is your last chance. Evan Ingram did not get the ball, and Isaiah Likely does against San Francisco. Evan Ingram will no longer see the light of day on my starting roster. So we'll see what can be done. Got Jake London projecting to do 10 points. No, that's not enough. Alrighty, moving on. Terminator, Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes. You can see the snake through the eyes. All right. Got a big win. High scoring game here. My goodness. Over 200 points scored. It's incredible. Stafford. Oh, Jacobs was like not even at practice, something like that, right? He couldn't even do walkthroughs. Quadricep. Yeah, get him out of there. Any other running backs available? Negative. Wow, he's got to stay. Interesting. Cook, Jefferson, Debo. Oh, I got Pittman? I didn't even know that. I got Pittman this whole time? Man. But he's not healthy, right? He said concussion? All right. So that means Deontay Johnson goes in. Likely. Patriots defense, yeah, like I said, I got them against doing pretty well against different Broncos defense. I mean, a different Broncos offense. Jared Goff, 15.3. Matthew Stafford, 15.3. Pretty even. Goff did have the bigger week, but um, I think I'll leave in Stafford. And who do I have questions about? Yeah, I have questions about my running back. Zach Charbonnet is on the bench. Kenneth Walker gets the nod. Let's see if there's any running backs available. Oh, no, there's not. Oh, boy. Oh, that's rough. Yeah, so I'm going to need Josh Jacobs to battle through injury with his quadricep injury. If he's not available, I'm going to have to get creative here, but Yeah, if I had to play today, this is my final number. 122 projected. Moving on to Houston. I am a problem, my boy. Got the W again. I mean, did we lose? No. Prescott, Caffrey, A Chain, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins with a big week. Kyle Pitts, I don't know what that is, but 6.7 ain't going to get it done. Any other tight ends out there? None that I can trust. Um, and when I say trust, I mean 10 points or more. Like, and Kyle Pitts has barely been able to do that. But I just don't have another option available for me. And he did it a few weeks ago, 14, but just under 10 the majority of the season. So that's just what it is. And I'm taking a little bit of a gamble here, folks. I got Cortland Sutton, Brandon Ayuk, and Puka Nakua on my bench. CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper against the Houston Texans. I believe that connection that him and Joe Flacco had late in the game last week to seal the win against the Bears, I think that's going to continue to blossom and flourish along with his connection with David and Njoku. So I expect him to have a pretty solid game against the Texans. I know that leaves out Puka Nakua and Coruscant who are healthy, but I just think that T. Higgins is going to be getting the ball, especially with Jamar Chase out. I think T. Higgins get bumped up to that number one spot, and it's going to have a big game. Puka Nakua, solid game, but Dak Prescott knows if he wants to win football games or even have a shot, he's got to find 88. Amari Cooper, I just explained that reasoning. So, Puka Nakua, come off that injury, dropped 10. Cooper Cup is still number one. And Cortland Sutton's going up against New England. It's going to be tough. Brandon Ayuk's going to get banked up against Baltimore. And Aaron Jones, even though he's playing against Carolina, he's still questionable. That's my reasoning there, and we're moving on. Commodore, it's over. Yes, I know, another close nail biter game. So I'm making changes by putting Derrick Henry on the bench. James Cook and Raheem Mostert, questionable, are better than Henry right now for fantasy. Debo, Mike Evans get the nod. Trey McBride, Bijan Robinson now. Okay, like I said before, playing against Indiana, coming off that really slow week. But I have a chance, man. I could put in Derrick Henry on my flex, but he only gave me 5. Calvin really, he only gave me these guys all gave me under 10 last week. Jordan Addison, he gave me 29. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not opposed. I'll sleep on it. But don't be shocked if we see Jordan Addison move into that flex and I put Bijan Robinson on my bench, man. I gotta win. Like we played to win the game. Point four. I mean, what was even his stats? 7 carries, 11 yards. Are you kidding me? So you mean to tell me you wasn't open like 7-Eleven? That's crazy. You was closed. The boy was closed. Oh wait, well, I mean, honestly, I don't want to make an overreaction, but dude, I just don't even want. I don't want to look at it, man. To be honest with you, I don't want to look at it. And this is my roster right here, man. Cook, Mostert, Debo, Mike, Trey, Addison, Eagles, Jake Elliott. And we're moving on. Let's play a game. I think we got that loss, right? No, we won. Okay, everybody winning. Connor, Pacheco, Samuel. Ooh, I got Jaden Reed in against Carolina. A Chain still, struggling. Yeah, I like this. Jaden Reed's gonna have a good game. Cool, cool, cool. Humans, my high scoring league, bonus league. Let's go. Got H Town villains. Purdy, Kyron, Ty Chandler. I'm getting him the nod. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, AJ Brown, Eagles defense, and Brandon Aubrey. Yo, that's low key a squad. Um, Brock Purdy lead all my leagues, man. Take us all the way, bro. Last but not least, can you keep up? Yeah, my boy, I make you lose my breath. Okay, ETN, Mozart, Brandon Ayuk, Addison, George Kittle. Let's go. Jaden Reed. Oh, Niners defense. Yeah, okay, we have to pick a substitute. Okay, we got the Packers D against Carolina. Should be solid there. Derrick Henry not reliable. And let me just check on any of the defenses. Let's make sure we're good. Jets against Washington. I mean, that's a pretty good matchup for real. But I think Washington will be able to move the football enough on them. And I mean, hopefully Green Bay can have a better game, bro. Because to be honest with you, man, when I've put them in, they've look at this. They've not been performing, man. I just really don't have a lot of confidence in that Packers defense to stop anybody right now. So I'm gonna go with the Jets defense, bro. Matter of fact, I should go with the Colts. No, I'm gonna go with the Jets defense, bro. Yeah, they because the Packers defense. Every time I use them, man, they're just not. I'm like, oh, they're playing the Giants. Oh, they're playing this team, and that team just finds a way to score a bunch of points. So that's what I'm going with. Final answer, and you heard it here first, folks. 24 leagues out of 24. It's your boy is Moolah on TV and on on TV. Is Moolah TV on Twitch and on YouTube. Definitely subscribe. Just dropped that new broadcast video. If you didn't catch it on my Twitch, it will be highlighted. But if you are on YouTube, definitely check that out. Subscribe at ismullah underscore TV, dropping new content. That Vanderbilt Dynasty, once it's complete, will also be dropped on there too. I just because I have the week one downloaded but not highlighted. So once everything is completed, I'll be dropping that too. So you guys have something to watch in the off season. We'll be probably doing a couple more dynasties along with some more content that I'll keep on a hush hush for now. And you guys just stay tuned and stay locked in with me. It's your boy at Ismullah TV on Twitch. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this helps. I will continue to drop more videos regarding fantasy so you guys can keep track and see how my teams are doing for the rest of this season and postseason. Have a happy holiday season. And if you do celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Christ was born. He's still alive. And he is well and he's ready to serve and have a relationship with you. God bless. Peace.